Hey there, everybody. I am on to do some Advent coloring. Yes, I am a day behind. Joan from Joan Junk's Journal and More. And I can't remember your channel name exactly. Sorry, Joan. But yeah, I saw your message and I wanted to reply, but I was on my phone and I couldn't do it right. But yeah, it's been hard to keep up. Yeah, it has. Um, and I'm a day behind. And I was more than that behind yesterday, but I did catch up a little bit. So I think kind of what I want to do. We only got 5 days till Christmas. Um, Let me just flip through all the pages so far that I have. Trying to keep this line up of the way. So this was for week one. Excuse me. This was first day. And I wonder, I want to make my screen smaller. I'm multitasking. Go figure. Can I get rid of that window? I don't want to see that window. Why do I see that window? Anyway, Advent Day 2. I have to say, I think this is one of my favorites. This might be the favorite. Day 2. Day 3. I used some Tim Holtz Distress Ink alcohol markers. And I have also used an acrylic marker too. Love the lamb. That was like a discovery with the gray alcohol marker, and then I did use my fine point Posca marker. Excuse me. Do I have water near me? I think I'm gonna need some. I don't know where that came from. This one with acrylic markers, and I like it because I did stick to acrylic markers just to get a little more skilled with them. Hey, Mandy, welcome. Happy Saturday. Excuse me. Oh, my voice is just messing up. I want to put in, let's see, will this show them all? I get irritated when my other computer, the screen goes off. So, hold on one second. I'm going to put something on here so it doesn't. So it doesn't. So there's that one. I also like it because of, like a lot of these, I didn't know where it was going, and just jumped in and did stuff, and whatever happened and happened. But there were several things that I did with these wine glasses that I really like how they turned out. There's Posca marker on here, and over the acrylic marker. I used like a couple acrylic markers inside the glass, and I wasn't sure how that was going to work. I was using the red and the purple and trying to make the glass look like a glass. I was using blue and white, but I like how it turned out. So I learned some things on this page, I think. There's this one, which I still feel like isn't quite done. I want to go back in and do things with it, but that's the thing with trying to color one a day, that you don't have time to fiddle really with things. But I really want to go back over this and do some. I want to do some more work, like delineating some of the lines, maybe using more of the white marker, using some other fine liner marker to kind of, I don't know. I feel like it's not really finished, but that's that one. One of my favorite books in the Bible, Isaiah. I swear, I feel like I've lived with the book of Isaiah since I was like, I don't know, 19 years old. I've been able to get out of it. I need to finish these things. I haven't, but I think the shocker was when I pulled out one of those sparkle pop pens and it was supposed to be one color and it turned out to be that color. Like the color of the pen, I think, is black. And it looks like it's black and it turned out to be that color. I was like, oh, like, well, it's a beautiful color, but that's not what I was expecting. And from there, I just stopped because I was like, I don't know what to do now. So I didn't finish the outside, but I will at some time. I might even do backgrounds on all of these that don't have a background here, but there's only so much time. And this, again, this was during my busy time of the year at work, so it's like we couldn't, couldn't delay. This one is all pencil, as you can see how it's shiny, waxy pencil. I think I used colors and polychromos on this, I think. And I just went with what other color was coming out. And then, I'm trying to be realistic, tried to do the same thing with the little sheep. This is a combination of colors. I think I started with one color and I didn't like it, so I went over it with another color. Tried to do that up here with a different color. That didn't turn out so hot, but I don't think you notice it too much. I just leave it. It's like whatever. Like the cow, I had to make my cow with, what are they called? I can't remember what the cow's called, the name of that cow, but that has the black and white. Is it Guernsey? I can't remember. I love cows. I'd have a cow if I could. And then I watch Nitros Farms videos and her chickens. Oh my gosh, I love her chickens. I love her chickens. They are like gorgeous. There's no other way to say it. Her chickens are gorgeous. And she had a video that I need to post it. I wanted to post it when I saw it, but I wanted to just enjoy the video. But she like takes a travel through, her area in Canada, Ontario, Canada, after it snowed. Probably the same time it snowed here. So I just wanted to say, hey, and happy holidays. And I'll say that to you now, Nitros Farm, just in case you're watching. Happy holidays to you, to all of you on the other side of the lake. So this one, I colored this one for week 2 with the 2 candles. It actually is kind of amazing how long it takes to color these. They're small, but it takes a lot of time. So, yeah. But I do want to, hey, if I do this, I can say I did finish one book this year. It'll be this one. So, that's one bonus. Hey, TaylorMade. Happy Saturday. Then this one, which is a combination, I think, alcohol markers. I can always tell from looking at the back. Yep. Alcohol markers. And then I did pencil over it a little bit. Because my alcohol marker skills aren't so good. And because I also don't have time to pay attention to the colors and be swatching everything to try and get the shading or whatever effect. And so I just went over it with pencil. Makes me miss having dogs. See the wolf there. And there's this one. This was a challenge because I was like, can't have them naked. So I was like, how am I going to do the colors? That was interesting with this one. This is all alcohol marker, and I went in with a little bit of a glitter marker, and I didn't like it. It's like, okay, stop there, don't do any more, because I didn't like it. I didn't like three places, but in a way, I think it kind of works because it just it being in those three places adds a little bit of tension and a little bit of you know, a little bit of pop. Hope you're doing well and resting and chilling and just enjoying life. Both of you. Another one. I tried to do reverse with the sheep. I gave them a black background and then tried to do the little white squiggles to kind of show, light underneath the, wool or whatever. I wanted black sheep because, like, I'm a black sheep. I am. I'm like an outsider kind of person. So it's like, I want that sheep to be black because he holds me. He's held me all my life. Did some interesting things on here that I don't quite remember, but it looks like all pencil. I guess it's all pencil. But I think there was some color on there I didn't like, and so I went over it with another color with the green. I think they were originally blue, and it's like, I don't like that, and so I went over it with green, and I kind of like how that turned out. And I did something similar. Oh dear. Did you really have to fall that hard? Bottle of oil, but it's not open, so it's okay. Bubbles! Hey, Bubbles! Happy Saturday, happy holidays, all that stuff. Did did Yuki ever eat any of those, I don't know, them little toe things? I'm curious. I actually have one left at the house that I forgot and left out of the box. I had so many of them that it's like I wound up leaving one out the box and didn't realize it until after my husband had shipped the box. So I says, "Oh well, we got one to give to some dog that comes to visit because you never know. Every once in a while, some animal appears." And sometimes I feel like they want to break into our house and get in our house because they know how we take care of our pets. They're like, ooh, I know. There's like pet love in this house. Let me get in here. Gotta lock the doors. Um, so I like the colors in this one. That's another thing I like about doing, I don't know, with doing certain like smaller or simpler kind of coloring pages is playing with color on them. You kind of like it kind of in a way I think that's how I work out some palettes. Is like, oh, I may want to do that again because I look at this and it's like, you know what? I like that as a palette. I wanted to use that somewhere else sometime. Oh, see there. Okay. Well, now I know what he likes. So just say if you want, donate the other ones to a shelter or something. That'll work. Yuki with his cute self. Yeah, both my husband and I, we miss having pets. He misses having dogs. I miss having cats and dogs. I don't know why he doesn't miss cats. He had cats when I had them. He had three cats and a dog and a half because his daughter had a dog. But and he had this one dog who was well, he was supposed to be not the applehead Chihuahua, but the other Chihuahua, the regular one. And but I didn't even know he was a Chihuahua because he was so freaking fat. Like I don't know, they were overfeeding him or something. He used to bark at me all the time and like be like, he wanted to. I don't know. I don't think he really would have bit me or anything, but he just was always like barking and everything. Well, we went to this Italian restaurant that's in the city here, and they make really huge meatballs that are really good. And I actually made a sacrifice, and I actually bribed that dog with my meatball. I gave him that meatball, and like little by little, and then gave it to him. That dog never barked at me again. I was his buddy from that. That meatball won him over. That was funny. Rest in peace, little doggy. So this was day 11, which I barely remember even coloring. I wanted to leave the white, and I think I may have done a little bit of Prisma in there, but I didn't want to mess up the lines in this one. I didn't want to cover them or have them shadowed over. So I don't think I didn't use pencil in here. I may not have used anything. It doesn't look like I used anything, not even a Posca, because I didn't want to mess up the lines and I didn't feel too, oops, I didn't color one of his feet. I have to go back and fix that. And I didn't want to do yellow again for this, like sky. I felt like I was using yellow on every page and I was getting tired of it. So I stuck with blue. Ah, now see, that's the one that was like the things like that I used to get from my dog, and like the things I was telling you about. They didn't have like the really huge ones like they used to have, but they had those little ones, and I figured for Yuki, like small anyway. But I was kind of like wondering, like, I don't know, because I don't want him, I don't know, I don't want it to be bad for his teeth or anything like that, but yeah, that's like real. Yeah. Okay. So that's his prize. Good to know. That was the thing I was really excited about sending. Was those? Yeah, because we had like I don't know, she was like 70 pounds, 75 pound um border collie German Shepherd mix. And once I bought her really big. It was like huge. I don't know. I guess was it like I don't know what it was from. I guess it was from a cow, and it was smoked. It was a smoked bone, and it still had like some meat on the ends or whatever. Oh my gosh! I gave her that. She was like out of this world. Like she was so excited. She was so excited. But I liked spoiling her because she was such a good dog. Such a good dog. That was my little queen dog. I like this one. I don't necessarily like the robot hand, but I couldn't decide what to do with that one. But I like the background and the colors. This is probably another one I'll use for a palette idea for something in another coloring book. I think I did something similar to this with colors in a mythographic book with that Joker. And this one, I've got day 13. It was a challenge trying to figure out how do I color this, like, I don't know. I wanted it to look like that kind of sand but white color or something, like linen or whatever. And these I wanted to color them like skin tones of people. So I put different. So I kind of had a thought behind this one. I think I talked about this one like a video or two ago. This was like a get her done moment because I didn't know what this was. I don't have a Catholic. Well, I do have a Catholic Bible, but it's on my shelf somewhere, and I wasn't going to get it out for this. I did look online um, to see what the scripture was, so I could try and figure out like what it. I don't know. It's a card of some kind. I don't know. I didn't understand. I like the shapes though, but also this was when like crunch day was beginning with work, so I had to like hurry up. Plus, I was getting ready to get the oral surgery, so trying to prepare for that. Okay, then week 3, which we are ending now. And I colored that one candle pink. I still have to look up why that one is pink. I gave that one the ghost kind of look because it's not week 4 yet. Week 4 starts tomorrow. And this one. This is when I broke out my polychromos because it's like I want to color with them. I haven't colored with them in so long, so I started using them along with the colors. I can't seem to get away from the color pencils. I just can't. I don't know why. They're giving me life lately. They like this book too. I like this paper. Another sheet. I kept this simple. The day of Immaculate Conception, I actually have a friend who was born on December 16th, and we always used to joke that, he was the Immaculate Conception. On Wednesday, I like this outline. I used my Swirlock glitter markers on this one. Love that. Yeah, this was the one I think I hadn't finished on my last video, and I finished it up afterwards. Yeah. I could do more with the lion. Like, he probably needs that nose. I need to make the nose. Do I have a dark pencil out here, or did I put it away? I've been trying to put some of my pencils away. Where's the dark brown? Let's find my dark brown. So, I think I put it away. I've been trying to be good. I put almost all of my Xenocolor and Crayola pencils away. It's a dark brown. I don't know why they have this weird kind of end to it. But let's give him a little bit of nose. I don't know what to do with his eyes. I'm gonna leave them alone. Leave his eyes alone. And then this one, which I tried to keep simple, it's like, oh my gosh, I'm behind. So tried to keep it simple. I tried to do just alcohol markers, and then I don't know. Then I went in and started doing other stuff that I almost wish I hadn't done, but I don't mind it too much. It just kind of makes the leaves look like they need something now, and I don't really want to be fighting with it. But like, see, I feel the urge right now to fight with it. This is what happens. See, this is what happens. Oh, what's this dim gray? I'm going to try and start getting my pencils put away. I really am feeling like I want to play with water or my gouache. Finally, for once. And feeling like, clean off your desk, get it in order so you can do that. Oh, cool. Are you doing single coloring pages, or you mean you're celebrating Advent? Like with the setup in your house? That's what my friend used to do. They always had a setup in their house for it. Like I said, he was a good Presbyterian. I was not. He was my soul twin. Definitely. And the funny thing is, he was 7 years younger than me, so that would have been As far as childhood, that probably wouldn't have been a barrier for us being friends in childhood, but we discovered we only lived we were separated only not even only by a few houses from being in the same school district, but it was like they were big school districts though. So he was like lived miles and miles away from me, but we were only separated by a few houses from being in the same school district. Um, but if we had met each other from childhood, like say at church or something, we probably would have been really tight friends from then. Because there's just something about like when you meet somebody and like you don't even have to finish your sentences and they know what you're talking like my husband and his wife would be like just leave them alone because we would talk. They never knew, nobody knew what we were talking about. We knew what each other was talking about. It was just I can't I've never had that experience with anybody else. I don't know. That's why I say he was my soul twin. Too funny. I miss him, but I will see him again. And I'm realizing how important the last words he said to me um, were. It's like everything in our friendship, our relationship was, I don't know, I don't know. I can't even describe it. But I was realizing again in another level this weekend how important those last words he said to me were. It's something I didn't never was on my register. And I think it was the Lord wanted him to say that to me to remember, this is who you are and this is what I put in you and this is what you need to keep doing. What was that noise? Is somebody's radio in their car or something? Not radio, whatever it is. Their system. Still trying to separate my pencils so I can get them put away. Let's see, since I'm being, off of work, oh, that's a color. That needs to go in another case. Not having to work regularly or away from home for the next 6 weeks, it's like, okay, now I have time to think about color and mixing color and how to organize the gouache in a way that works for me in this space. So, what is this? It's got to be a Xena color. And so I kind of want to do that because, I don't know, I feel a kind of painting itch going on and I can't go full on in my painting space. Because priority right now is given to the piano, which is in that same space. And so it'll get there, but it's not there right now. I actually I don't know. In some ways I feel like I want to do like I saw when my painting professor, he wanted us to see, visit like a living artist and see how they work and what they do and everything. And they actually had a trailer in their yard that where all their art stuff was. It was their studio. Their studio was a trailer that was in their yard, and they lived like on in the country, kind of like I do. And so they had the space, and we do have the space to do that. I just feel like I don't want to put another structure on our property. And I don't, we do have a shed outside that's relatively new that like the Amish built for us. And um, I could possibly transform that into a space, but that would have to come through agreement between my husband and I. But we have a garage now, which we didn't have before, that has ample room for all that stuff. Um, but also then there's also the whole idea of in the wintertime having to go through feet of snow to go to that shed to do art stuff. Am I that dedicated? No. I don't like the cold. I mean, but well, I might be dedicated enough to do that. I don't know, but it's then it would have to be heated and safely and all that other kind of stuff. So I don't know if I'm in for all that. I don't know. But I'm starting to wonder because I kind of don't want to take over living space with my art stuff. So I want that to be living space for people to hang out and things, not just for my stuff. So I don't know if the Lord has anything in mind for that, but like I guess I'm going to be asking him about it. I also feel like too many buildings on a property looks tacky. I hate that. I hate tacky. So I don't want that either. Anyway, blah blah blah. So now we're on today. Oh no, we're not on today. We're on yesterday. So we better get busy. Okay, so and I have another one like this from when I used alcohol markers. Look at how this makes these really cool designs on the paper, and I'm using like that really nice cardstock, which I tried to find my old one and couldn't find it. So now I got another one like this, but I just kind of want to keep using this one, and it makes such nice colors on there that it has potential for something. I don't know. I like it. So maybe I'll use alcohol marker in this one too, because then I can get it done quick. But then I gotta have something else out. I don't know. Actually, I wish I could find my water-based markers. They are here somewhere, but like my eyes are not. Because I like to use different things all over. Let me see if I can find them without. Oh, there they are. I got those Ohuhu ones before. If you hear a crash, it's a bunch of books. One thing I'm gonna be. Oh, don't crash that far. There we go. Wasn't as bad as I thought it would be. Before, like I knew. Can you see that? Hello. Before I knew Ohuhu was a thing, and probably before they were a thing, because these are not. They don't look very fancy. Yeah, our shed, I don't know what you'd say for space. It's more long than it is wide, but it's not that long either. And it was where, like, we kept the rakes, and actually when my husband had when we had a riding lawnmower, kept it in there. Um, let's see if I move my keyboard, but then it's gonna hang over. I have to put it to the side of me. Put down some water-based markers instead of alcohol markers. I think that'll. Although it might keep me in this more longer or something, but I got time. So I got lots of blues in here. Just I take them all out of order. Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't know, I've had these for a long time. And they were I just got them because they were water-based markers, because that's, I was seeing people talk about them, using them. So I thought, well, let me get a set. You know how that works. I don't know which blue I want to work in. I guess sometimes you just got to go in. Stop thinking about it. Don't they? I don't know why they always give her the blue veil. I suppose there's a reason for that. I don't know what it is. And I don't know why I'm doing it. Like, why am I doing a blue veil? We're not going to think, we're just going to color. Or not think, but we're always going to think. I do want to get this done quickly. Are those supposed to be stairs? So not really doing anything for Christmas, but relax. That's kind of the way that work has always had me in all my working life. By the time we got to Christmas, all I wanted to do was relax. I'm actually making sauce, and I thought I was making it for, I don't know, just for dinner. Like, first I thought I was making it for dinner yesterday, and I was like, no, I didn't get it started until this morning. And it's just kind of a quickie kind of meat sauce just to make. Um, I decided I'm making baked ziti instead of manicotti because I don't want the work for stuffing manicotti. I'm just not in the mood. That feels too much like work. Even though it's not that hard when you get the little baggie and squeeze the stuff in. I'm just not in the mood for all that fiddling around with the slippery tubes of pasta. That's kind of the thing I'll do. Like, if I'm having company, I'll go through that trouble, but not just for me and my husband. Is like, oh, not doing it. And I'm not, if it were like for other people, I'd be like, I'd be going hardcore with making a meat sauce. I'd be using like, a beef shank or something. And yeah, I'm not doing all that. I have ground turkey and I have ground turkey and Italian sausage. And I just put it in the crock pot. And I had it in there for 4 hours today, and then it was heating for 2 hours, so staying heated. And then I just put it on for 12 hours. Initially I had just the sausage. Took off the outside and smashed it up, trying to kind of crumble it up. And the ground turkey, I put in some garlic powder because I didn't even want to like brown any garlic in the pan or nothing. I was like, no, that's too much work. Not doing it. It's not too much work, but that's where I'm at right now. Even that is too much work for me right now. I'm like, not doing it. Not doing it. Um, so I added garlic powder. I think that was it. That was all I added. I had the meat in there, garlic powder, and the tomato puree. It's actually crushed tomatoes, but it's that brand, one of those Italian brands that their crushed tomatoes are a better consistency, that they're almost like puree. They have a better flavor too. Was it? I don't know. It might have been Tutarosa. I think that was the brand I had. And then I went in this evening, and put in oregano, basil. I have some oregano oil that I made from oregano that I have in my yard. Um, and what else did I put in there? That might have been it. Oh, tomato paste. 1 can of tomato paste. So I'm just gonna let it cook all overnight. And I guess I'll assemble stuff tomorrow. I don't know. I don't seem to be much in the mood to cook. But who knows? I may wait until Christmas Eve to put it all together. I'm just really not. I don't want to do anything that seems like work. I have officially declared myself off duty. Only doing what I want to do. So I did laundry yesterday. And I kind of want to rearrange some things. I ordered some boxes. I don't think they're going to get here till after Christmas, but I do have boxes now that I can use until I get those that I want to I have to box more books and label what's in them and organize those. I did some reading today, which was really good. Last night I watched another episode of Black Mirror. I don't know, they're kind of like, I don't know, they're keeping me watching. I think because in that series, you don't know what's going to happen. And that's what keeps me watching. I don't know what's going to happen. And so that curiosity, wondering what's going to happen, keeps me watching. And it has me thinking too. Was that series is like 4 years old now, almost 5. And it's interesting to watch it just with that little bit of perspective. Like that the first, is it the first? Yeah, the first episode with the woman that I guess she was the subscription service they wound up being on to keep his wife um alive or whatever, and how they kept upping the ante on the subscription, and with their improvements they were charging more, and like, oh well, now that's the regular tier, but if you want this you have to go up to this tier and it costs this much. And it was like, oh my gosh, it's just like how things are with regular things on here. And watching that being from only 4 years ago, it's like, well, we haven't improved on that model, have we? They are getting more that way. Like, what did StreamYard just do to a bunch of people not that long ago? And then kind of just like what happens in that episode of Black Mirror, it's like, does the service get better? It seems like it only gets better for a little while, if it does at all. And it kind of goes back to that whole thing that I get aggravated about is with everything being virtual, provided to us virtually. I'm like, there. Whereas we used to get physical products for these things, something we could actually hold and read, reinstall and whatever, and have in case, if there was some kind of malfunction or something, you could always, uninstall, reinstall. You get a new device, you could, reinstall, and you didn't have to worry about, your operating system being so different, for the most part, initially. Now it's like this whole rigmarole. Like I had a lifetime subscription to a lifetime whatever to WinZip. And when at one point when I finally realized, oh yeah, I don't have to pay for this, because back and this was in the 90s, like the late 90s or early 2000s. It's like, yeah, I purchased a lifetime thing to this, so I don't have to pay for this. And I contacted them. They're like, no, we don't honor that anymore. So what does lifetime mean? It's a lie. It's a selling, point. That's a lie. It's a lie. Straight up, it's a lie. Nobody's holding anybody accountable for that either. And to me, that's a problem. And we have a whole generation of people who don't realize you are being gooped, basically. We used to get a whole physical product for life for the price that you're paying every year for whatever this object or thing is. I don't like that. The everyday person doesn't win with that. And then these companies, they don't even stay in business. They rip you off, and then because of other areas of their business model that are a complete failure and lie, they go out of business or get bought out by somebody else or make a bad decision, and it's just a hot mess. Something has to change with that. Something has to change with that. Kind of makes me want to go full analog on my life, and just say F all of you. Tuning out. I don't know. I think that's another area where the landscape needs to change. I'm totally not against technology or advancement, but there's a reason for regulation and the need for it, because one side can't really see everything. I feel like I shouldn't have made that thing that blue. I might go over it with another color. What happens if I go over it with this color? It's going to rip up the paper. Paper's getting kind of wet. scary part about coloring these is I don't know what it's going to look like until it's done. I have no like vision for like what it should look like. And I think I'm that way with all coloring pages. I have no vision for it. I just like put down color and see what happens. And sometimes I'll think, well, I want to use this on it, but I still don't have any idea what it's going to look like. I just know that's what I want to use. I like being random. Or I can't help but be random because I don't sit there and think about it. What I want it to look like. Oh, I can't put that so close to me. I'm gonna make his halo yellow. I think that's kind of protocol. This is the first time I've used the water-based markers in here, so I don't know. I'm gonna keep doing this for a while with other pages. Especially since I don't know how to color with them anyway, so good practice. You probably should be doing the circular thing. I don't want to do it on your head. I don't know. See how that dries. So my plan with the sauce and making the ziti, I'm gonna kind of make the ziti like I was making stuffed manicotti. So it's gonna have the same ingredients, but it's just not gonna be stuffed manicotti. I don't know. That's where I'm going. Because I want to just be able to mix it all up in one thing, top it with cheese, be done. Just with working, I don't have, working outside the house, I don't have time to cook like that. My husband's not a good prep. He's not a good kitchen person for like knowing how you prepare for things like that and having things organized so that I could just come in and just do it Yeah, he doesn't have that. He doesn't have that skill set. And so I don't. Otherwise, I'd be baking cookies and all kinds of stuff. But no, I can't do that. I don't know what season it is. And it is not that season. I enjoy doing that stuff though. I love baking cookies. And baking Christmas cookies is like it's like a whole process, a whole production. Because you got to figure out, okay, these need to be refrigerated overnight before you bake them, or need to be these need to be refrigerated before you go to the next step of putting them together. That's like with the pinwheel cookies. You have to mix a dough with chocolate powder and a dough that has another color, and you have to freeze them separately, and then you got to roll them together and not freeze them, but refrigerate them separately. Then you got to take them out, and you got to put them on top of each other and roll them together, and then you got to like wrap that like in a tube shape and then put that in the refrigerator so that it chills, so then when you slice them it won't crumble up. So it's like a whole process. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. That's just one cookie. So like it's a whole, for me it's like a whole like kitchen is immersed in that process, and the cleanup in between, like after each step. It's almost like painting. Um I love baking cookies. I do. And it's like, okay, this day is for this cookie. This day we're working on this cookie. This day we're working on the prep for this cookie. And then we'll bake it on this day after these. And yeah, I can't do none of that no more. Not now. Not at the moment. Maybe my cookie baking season will return like that, but not at the moment. And I miss it because I used to like giving them away. A lot of yellow in this, but oh well. So I mean, I keep putting yellow in there. I guess because it's bright. It's a wondrous event. Yellow's a cheery color, so I'm starting to feel like I need something else in there. And I don't know why I just sang that. Don't ask me. Yeah, see, that is so much fun, Mandy. Do you know what kind of cookies she's baking? I always had my standbys, and that was the pinwheel cookies. I was just talking about that. The chocolate with the one would have raspberry, be chocolate and raspberry, and the other one would be chocolate and pistachio. Um, and then I'd always do thumbprint cookies, and sometimes I do some thumbprints that were rolled in the almonds, and then some that weren't, where the dough was rolled into almonds, and then some where it wasn't rolled into almonds. And then I'd usually do, I don't know what it was about raspberry filling, but I would always use raspberry filling, or sometimes I would also use, or do different kinds, some with raspberry filling and some with orange marmalade filling. Um, and sometimes I change the other one other than raspberry, but one was always raspberry. And then I'd make the macaroons, particularly for my mother in law because she loved those. But there are other people that really like coconut. I don't like coconut like that. I like fresh coconut, but I don't like dried flaky stuff. Um, but I would make those for her. I would make almond paste cookies because I love them. And I grew up in an Italian neighborhood, and so like I can't live without almond paste cookies and like the almond crescent. So they were almond crescent cookies, and so they were made with almond paste, and then they had slivered almonds crusted all on the outside that would get like toasty, and I love those cookies so much. And then what's the other one? Almond crescent thumbprint cookies, like at least two different kinds. The pinwheel cookies, um, and then in the macaroons, and then anything else. Like I would kind of find another cookie that maybe just to try out to see how I liked it and how other people liked them. And so I used to do. I don't know what color to make it. Yeah, I had to go over this with pencil. Um, I made those Star Linzer cookies. I did those one year specifically for my father-in-law. Um, he loved them things. They were pretty too. I liked them because they were pretty. And oh, that looks gross. What did I just do? Oh well, we gotta. I'm thinking about cookies, not coloring. I lose my mind when I think about cookies. So I'd make the Linzer cookies, which I kind of liked because they were made with the recipe I had them made with whole wheat flour, which I thought was interesting. Um, and I think they also had molasses in them too, which I thought, well, this sounds kind of like a healthy cookie, even though like you're putting sugary things on top and all that. Oh, I wonder maybe he should have a wrap. The wrap probably should have been blue. Oh well. Oh, you know what? I could go over it with the acrylic marker and have some under stuff happening. So I'd make the Star Linzer cookies. There was some. What else did I try? Oh, biscotti, lemon pistachio biscotti, and biscotti started becoming like a regular with something I would make because it was biscotti is actually really easy to make. It's just that you have to bake it twice. You have to bake it in the loaf, and then you have to cut the loaf into the slices and bake the slices. But it's really easy to make, and you have a basic biscotti recipe. You can change it up any kind of way you feel like it. And so I think the first one I ever made was a lemon biscotti, lemon pistachio biscotti. There's a theme here: pistachios and raspberry filling. I have a thing for that. And I think I did some variations on it. I would always do the lemon pistachio one, but I think I did some other kind too. Because it's easy to make biscotti and it's easy to fill a tin with biscotti. So, kind of like the thing to kind of Yeah, the pretty cookies, and then the biscotti is kind of like the, I don't know, not filler, but something. I don't know what you call it. Well, the other cookies were the highlight. The biscotti was like the basic that was there, and kind of the frame or something for the other cookies. I don't know what you want to say. I feel like there's something else that I used to make, but I can't remember what it is. I feel like I'm going to make them both in blue and color over it. See what happens. I love baking cookies. I really do. I just went in last week. Actually, I still have them here at my desk. Um, for the cookies I used to make the most around Christmas time, and I have, and I didn't. It's been a long time since I've been in that big binder. I have like a big, like, I don't know, is it like a 5-inch binder or something like that? It has a whole lot of recipes in it that like I'd gotten from other people or gotten them from books or things like that over the years. And man, I forgot how many recipes I had in there. And I have some books that are specifically with cookies. I have one really nice basic book that has um, cookie recipes in there from like A to Z, and it's almost encyclopedia like the way it's set up, and it has a picture of each one and the recipe for each one, and they fit actually like 2 recipes on each page. I don't remember where I got that book from, but that book is wonderful. It's like a mainstay, and you can kind of get from there every type of way to bake a cookie and what the certain ingredients do for a cookie. And I have to some. I'll mention the book. I think next time I'll look at the name of it and share it with you. Do that. I feel like, you know what? One time I think I made some cookies that had some booze in it. I think they had brandy or something in it. I don't think, but I didn't make them again because they really felt like they were too much trouble for all that work. Or did they have bourbon in it? I don't know, something weird like that. And I actually had to ask my husband. I says, "You got any?" And all that did was actually it added flavor and sugar, but it wasn't worth the trouble. Phew. Excuse me. At least from what I remember, it wasn't worth all that trouble. It's like, yeah, they're good, but it's not. They're not that good to be going through all that. Yeah, but each year I would have like at least one try it out cookie, something new to me. To see if I could expand on the regulars. Um, no, baby Jesus needs an outfit. That's funny. Well, not baby Jesus. He's not a baby in here, but I don't know. Maybe this is actually supposed to be Elizabeth? I don't know. I don't even know. I probably should read the scripture, but the scripture's in Judges, so I'm not. Well, I guess it must be a prophetic statement. Am I bad? doing the thing, doing a picture with a scripture on it, and I'm not even reading the scripture. I don't know. Just, I'm in a get her done moment. I always said words and pictures like this don't, for coloring pages, doesn't, it just doesn't click with me. And this is even basic. And I'm just like, no, I don't know. I see the words, it puts me in another headspace. And then I start thinking about the words. And then I can't think about the color because I'm thinking about the words. Okay. Hey, Sassy. Happy Saturday. Hope you're doing well. Yeah, we gotta do some pencil on this. We do. And you know what? I'm gonna go over this too because I've already decided I'm doing pencil or something over it, so we might as well just put that there. It gets kind of tiring coloring these pages. It does. Oh, and now we have these browns that are a little suspect. I don't know what they're going to turn out to be. Now, let's see. This could be bad or it could be good. Oops. Not the color I thought it was. Oh well. Thought it was going to be tan. Oh, I'm making them all the same. You know me, no time to swatch. Swatch and me don't get along. That's the color I wanted for the hair. Not the skin. Wonder what the possibilities are for lightening it. Oops. Shouldn't have done that. Angel's gonna have a mark on his face. Let's see where I missed some blue. Thank you. I wonder. See, now I kind of hoped that this is too dark. I do need to swatch this because that's kind of, yeah, I don't know. More blue. I don't know. Whatever. I'm gonna go over this anyway with some. I'm gonna do something with some white in here. I think. I don't know. This is the thing about coloring. I like to play. Oops. I probably should use the pen side. But I like the feel of the brush. Mm-hmm. I wonder what would happen if I used a different color. Yes, I don't think that's gonna work. Make it green. Oh, let's see what happens. Oops. Oh my. Oh, it's different. Mm-hmm. What happens if I do their skin? Does that make it more olivey or what? If nothing else, we'll know what we won't do again. I like their faces. They're very simple, but effective. I think that's one thing I like about this book. It accomplishes, I don't know, the simplicity in it, and yet it's still, okay, you know what? This could be bad, but this is what I'm doing. Um, Let me go over it with another color. I don't know if I have a good black here. Let's do it. Let's see. Hmm. And I got all these markers in my hand that I gotta keep out. See, this is how it happens. This is how it happens. Okay, what do we want to do next? Tosca. Oh, I just realized I'm still in this thing. Oops. Pencil. Where is it? I just had the. Although I do have. Let's see what. No, I don't want one. Let's see if that'll work. It's up there. Oops. Well, they work. They work like. Yeah, Xenocolor and a Crayola white. Let's see how they work. You could kind of turn that yellow into gold. Use a gold marker, kind of trim it around there. You know, it's a possibility to take it where the narrative is going. I like what that did. Ooh. I'm digging a hole in the page. Okay, Mr. Angel. I don't know. For him, I almost feel like I need that Prismacolor white, but let's see. Let's try this Xenocolor first. I don't know. Even just need to use the Posca marker. We could do it carefully so he stands out. I need a thick. Where is these? Oh, I don't think. How small is this? Oh yeah, that'll work. I'm gonna use this. I'm gonna need to smear. I just don't want to get rid of the lines. Can I get the smear? Not really. See, this is why it takes so long to do one page for me. I can't keep it simple. Or even simple takes a lot of time for me. I'm slow. Oh, all of a sudden, sorry. There's always music in my head. Trust and believe. So I just starts. Sorry. I've been listening to a lot of jazz lately, so my head is kind of. I think my head's kind of. I don't know. So I don't know if anybody knows who Keith Jarrett is, but like, okay, not to be controversial or nothing, but okay, I love Keith Jarrett. There's, should I even be talking about this? I don't know. He's probably sick of people talking about it because I swear he somewhere in I'm gonna leave it alone. I'm gonna leave it alone. I'm just gonna leave it alone. It's not nice. I'm sure he's sick of people talking about it, but I don't know. I love him. I love his playing. It's just like, ugh. One reason why I think that I am a musician on a long hiatus is because there is this thing with musicians where it's almost like, considering Coloring an Angel, and my friends and I used to have some of my friends used to have this joke. It's like, well, you know how there's a scripture that says that men are, what's it, a little below angels or something like that, or something like that. I should look up the scripture, but there was always kind of this running kind of joke that in a way was said almost like, you know, like, yeah, it's true. Like, musicians are kind of, humans are a little bit below angels and musicians are a little bit above them, like we're, musicians are like a bigger, better grade of human. Like there's something special that we're kind of like above the rest. And there's this mentality kind of among some musicians that actually is true. And I was really, I think I know. I kind of had that too. My identity was in music. My identity was as a musician. That was like the first and most strongest place that I received validation and things like that. So like in my whole identity was in it. And I had to be willing to let that go because first of all, it's a lie. Musicians are just people who can make music. Yes, they have a gift, but everybody has a gift for something. Just some other people's gifts aren't so visible or aren't as celebrated. And God had to do more work on me than I think I even really knew. And to make sure, are you willing to put this down? Yeah, I'm willing to put it down. I'm willing to put it down so hard that nobody, even a lot of people who know me in my real life now, don't even know I'm a musician. And and it was always like whenever I was doing something with music, it's like I only want to do what you want me to do, Lord. And whenever you want me to put it down, I will put it down. And I did that. That's what I did. Um, so now that I have a piano, that I mean, I could have jumped through all kinds of hoops and things and gotten a piano a long time ago, but I wasn't going to do it until I don't do nothing until God tells me it's time. I'm supposed to, because again, it's like my identity is in Him, not in being a musician. Being a musician is something that'll die with me. I don't know. Yeah, pretty much. There was a day when I don't think I would have been willing to say that. So I still want him to have a little more white. This might be more off-white than white, and I don't realize it. But um, so as I start playing, I'm very cautious about it because it's like, first of all, I can be very obsessive, um, especially about music. Be very obsessive with it, and I only want to go where he wants me to go when he wants me to go there. I'm doing this his way, not mine. And there's sometimes this is kind of like with Isaac, Abraham, and with Isaac, you have to be willing to give it up and let him give it back to you the way he wants you to have it. And I see a whole lot of musicians around who maybe haven't been willing to do that. And I see where it's taken them. And it's like, okay, I don't want to be like that. That's just like music for music's sake, you've already got your reward. Um, and some of what's there behind the scenes isn't so pretty. but nobody else knows, but really, but you and God and people who kind of see and like, ah, okay. People who are in the know and recognize. And I don't know. None of it's worth it. It's not worth it. It's, you know, it's cow dung in comparison to being where God wants you to be when He wants you to be there. There's nothing like being where God wants you to be when He wants you to be there. Nothing like it. That's what I want. Oof, I messed up that marker a little bit. That's where I want to be. Uh-oh, I feel like I'm about to go that whole white explosion thing. Is this what we're doing? Although I don't know that this marker will do it very well, because it's one of those acrylic markers that are kind of not really opaque enough. I didn't think I was going to do this either, but here I am doing it. Oh, we never finished his hair. What are we doing with his hair? And I think you can be that way, the way, like I was saying, musicians are about music and being a musician. You can be that with anything. Elevate that above God. And anything you do that with. Warning signal, warning signal. Surrender it. That's my advice. Surrender it to Him. Do what Abraham did. Surrender it to Him. You'll get it back better. But don't surrender it to Him just because you're going to get it back better. Surrender it to Him because He's worth it. He's worth more than anything. Anything, anything, anything. Any trouble you go through, if you've surrendered yourself to Him, when you go through that trouble, there is always somebody with you through that trouble. And there's somebody who sees the other side of it and will help you get there to the other side. I could have gone my own way, maybe being a songwriter in Nashville, whatever. I could have done all that, and who knows what other troubles I would be dealing with in my life. And how confident would I have been to ask God for help then, after having getting myself in, whatever position I got myself in, and I don't know what the end is. I don't know. I'm just glad that I obeyed and I listened and walked His walk, His way, and let Him bring it back the way He wants it. I don't know. I guess at this point I've just seen so much. I'm like, now I'm at a place where it's like, oh, I can see things that could very well have happened. along the way, not going his way. Things I would not have known, danger I would have put myself in. I don't know. It's kind of weird though. To think of it that way is kind of like a what if kind of situation, but in a way. But I just, yeah, there's things I know now that I never would have known. Good things if I had gone my own way. So it's not just bad things that I know. You know, it's good things that I know as well. So I don't know. Blah 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 blah. If you can find any meat there, eat it. If you're finding all bones, spit them out. Just like it's just run in my mouth. But running my mouth is helping me color though. But anyway, I guess that whole tangent is because like it seemed to kind of be well. I'm focusing a little bit on jazz piano, which is not something I really expected, but probably the if I can say that word, trajectory I might have been on if I had learned, had been able to do lessons and things um, regularly from childhood. More than likely, that's the trajectory I would have been on. Jazz piano and session musician. Because I'm telling you, I'm even checking myself now to make sure I don't get obsessive with it because there's something about me and piano. I really love that instrument. It has been kept from me all my life. But I take to it like a fish to water. And I really do think it was kept from me because I had just this natural thing to be obsessive with it. Which that obsession actually makes some really good pianists like Keith Jarrett. Keith Jarrett also messed up his he wound up having some condition that like he totally had to mid career he had to totally modify the way he played and he couldn't play with that same kind of intensity after that point because of literal debilitating pain. And I don't think it wasn't because of his technique, it was because he was really obsessive with playing. So kind of surprised with the jazz thing because basically all of my jazz friends have passed. Most of them were older than me. Well, actually, all of them were older than me, but there was one or two that were around my age, closer to my age, and others of them were, you know, like maybe 10 years older, and they've all passed, so I won't be playing with them. Not that I don't know, I don't even envision myself playing with anybody. That's a lofty idea. I don't think of that. I just, for some reason, my focus in my playing seems to be turning that way. which I'm kind of intrigued by. I'm like, God, what are you doing here? I don't know. I guess that's why I talked about the whole. Oh, I must be thinking out loud. But I know there's like a skill with playing jazz that fits across genres. And part of that is the left hand technique. So that seems to be, I don't know, what I got to focus on now? Left hand technique. I don't know what the Lord is doing. I knew the minute that whole situation happened with getting the piano, I was like, where is this coming from? Like, out of, like, huh? I'm like, okay, Lord, I don't know what you're doing with this. Is it for somebody else to come and practice? I don't know. I don't know. But like I said, the whole thing with Abraham and Isaac, but I am submitted to and committed to doing whatever it is, doing it his way, not stepping even one iota out of line. I do not want to. So I'm just listening and listen and obey. Because he can do everything better than I can. And I don't want to do anything without him. Because I don't want to be anywhere he is not. If he ain't there, sorry, I'm out. If he hasn't authorized me to be there, no, sorry, I'm out. Which is what I've always done when I've done music. It's like there's a good thing and there's a God thing. I want to do the God thing, not the good thing. Because the interesting thing is, we see the outsides of people, but God sees the hearts of people. And that thing you think is good is a good thing to do because it looks holy and whatever and whatever and whatever. You don't know what's in them people's hearts. You don't know what's in their hearts. And the heart of that person that is a so-called heathen or whatever might be better than the heart of that person that is calling themselves a Christian. Or you could be Philip, the Ethiopian, sent to go run and meet that chariot with that person that actually has the heart but doesn't have the knowledge or wisdom to go any further with it. And you're put there in that place to be with that person, to give them that knowledge and wisdom. That's actually a position that I've been in as a musician, playing with people that were playing not in churches. And it was like I was there to help them with that journey because they were asking questions and they had nobody to answer. God, I'm telling too much of my business. What is this about? I kind of like that. Should I leave it this way? I think I need to leave it this way, maybe come back and look at it later and do more. My logic behind this right now, leaving it like this, okay, like, you know, Jesus being, Son of Man and Son of God. Okay, so he's kind of got a little bit of the hyper glow, but not all. The angel's got all of the hyper glow, and Mary's got a little bit of teeny weeny bit of hyper glow by association. If you like that description. Sorry, I can't be anybody but me. That's I don't know. Take me or leave me. That's the way it is. Let's see. Am I still? What do I have in here? Am I still in here? I have 55 minutes left. Okay. How long had I been on here? Ooh, almost 2 hours. Only got one picture done and didn't even do the stars. Let's do the stars. And we're gonna make them blue with pencil, just cause we can. Let's see if we can start on Saturday. What time is it? Is my watch dead? No. 7:21. I took a nap today because at 11 this morning, that's when it started. I'm sitting at my desk. I'm playing this game, listening to YouTube videos, doing a little bit of reading. Yeah, all at the same time. And I started, when I stopped reading, the reading actually was keeping me awake. But when I stopped reading, I was like nodding off at my desk. And I'm like, why? Like, just go take a nap. Go take a nap. And I was like, no, why are you taking a nap? No. I just said, and it just happened so many times. It was like, go take a nap. You obviously are tired. Go take a nap. But I did again. I got up at like 4 a.m., which like I don't know what that's about. This 4 a.m. thing. That's gotta stop. So did I get up? Yeah, I did get up early. I think I did. I did. So I did take a nap, and I took a 4-hour nap. Guess I needed it. I don't know when I'm going to bed tonight. I need to get my sleep regulated though, because that's kind of ridiculous. Okay, so there's that one. We may come back and do some other things with this. I don't know. We'll see how we feel about it in a day or two. Let's go to this one. Okay, this one I think I'm going to do all pencil. And that means I got to put my markers away. I don't feel steady-handed enough to use markers right now. And I just love colored pencils, period. I do. I do. I do. I don't know why I'm singing stuff like I'm in a musical or something. I'm not one of the... Well, I used to like musicals when I was little. I used to watch them all the time. Oh. I just lost a marker. Went sliding where I didn't want to. There it is. Okay. From the 30s and the 40s. I used to watch a lot of those musicals. Like all the, what is it Bugsby Berkeley? Or Berkeley, Bugsby, whatever. And then the, what was the one? The whatever of 1939. They like had one like, I don't know, like every year or something like that. I can't remember the name of the... Did they call them Gold Diggers? The Gold Diggers of 1939? The Gold something. I used to watch all of those movies. With the lines of girls tap dancing and all that. I used to love those movies. And I can't tolerate them now. I don't know why I loved them so much when I was little. Was it The Spectacle or something? I don't know. I used to love those movies. Okay, any who's hanging out? I think I got them all in that I use tonight. And a couple of strays. A few strays from past that still need to get in there, like in that sack. Okay, so now what haven't I used in here? With the stained glass look. Using a lot of blue in this too. These are all my Xena colors and Crayolas. Let's kind of put these back in. While we're at it, we're on a mission to put our pencils back, like a good girl. Oh. Yeah, like I was looking the other day that it seems like they sell these. They don't sell these on the U.S. website anymore. These Xena pencils. And they seem to have, Xena seems to have a pretty big presence on Instagram, because every time I was searching it, it came up with an Instagram page. Uh-oh, I can't flip in. Like, is this really something you want to see? I don't know. I don't know why I'm doing this. I think it's in the mission of getting my pencils put away. Because I've had a long 2 months of really, the minute I put pencils away, I'm taking more pencils out. Sometimes the same ones. Oh, okay, I see why you don't have anything in there. Stitching's gone on that one. Slid right through. But Xena, they were my first big set of colored pencils. They used to send a coloring page every month. I still have those PDFs. I still get emails from them, but they don't send free pages anymore. I don't know why that's... Let's these blacks together. I don't know why that's over there. It has some nice colors in the set. Some of them are like really their favorites that I don't really see the same color of in other sets. Then I got my Crayolas in here, which is the first thing I ever colored with. Some of them are real short, some of them are not. Okay, and what are we doing this guy here? Still need to put these on the side of me. I got the what do you call them, polychromos out, because I really want to make myself use them. I wonder if I should do that now. I love this blue. I need to get more of this blue. What is it? Can I read it without my glasses on? The shiny thing. Ultramarine? Is that what it is? I can't read it. I can't read it. I can't read that shiny stuff. Well, I thought I was going to use the Xena and the Crayolas, but I guess I changed my mind. Or maybe I'll use them with these. Just not for, I don't know. Just trying to stay away from the colors I don't know, just because I keep coloring everything with them. It's like, you gotta use some of your other pencils. I don't know why that matters, but I feel like I'm neglecting the other ones. I don't know what she's supposed to be wearing. We gotta be willing to change it up, though. We gotta be willing to change it up. I love these pencils. I really do. See, like these and the colors really like this paper. You just feel good on it. I don't understand all that's going on, though, in this picture. That's not the color I want. Where is it? Where is it? That color I just put away. This is gray, but it's yeah. I do have this Prisma out. Yeah, I got Prismacolor pencils out. This is going to cause me to have to layer to make her skin tone, and I don't really want to do that. I don't want to layer. What color is this? Crayola Peach. It doesn't look like peach, but it looks like a color I don't mind using for skin tone. There's yeah, the pencil I just put away. I'm looking for it. This happens all the time. I think this is a Crayola. I'm always using this pencil, as you can tell. I haven't used it in a while because I haven't had this case out, but once I have the case out, I'm using it all the time. Okay, like, what's going to sharpen this? For real. And not play games with me. Ooh. Ooh. Pencil's fighting back. Wow. Doesn't like either of those sharpeners. So fortunately, we didn't get anything like an ice storm. And I didn't hear, I don't think the way it quickly got cold after all of that rain, it doesn't sound like anything really bad happened anywhere as a result of that. That kind of change in the weather can be kind of scary because of how slick it can make the roads. But it seems like everything turned out okay. And now it's just crude. Where is... Oh, I missed the blender. Why I did that. Blender. Where you at? I don't know if it's going to blend this very well, though. It's one thing, these pencils don't, well, Crayolas don't really lend themselves to blending very well. Where's the burnisher? Is the burnisher? Will this do anything? This works on it a little bit. I put a little too much of that darker color on here. Oof. Oh, I just changed your whole skin tone, this one. Oh, wow. Oh, no. I don't know where my... I'm in here. Oh, it's gonna be that one. It's not this one. Shuffling pencils around. Oh, don't do that. That won't fit up there. Erg. Probably should eat something for dinner. I feel like it. Yeah, Holbeins. I got 2 Holbein lavender pencils. That's my Holbein collection. I think I have the yellow too. This is what I'm in here for, but it won't show itself. Oh, not even this one, but I guess that's what we're using because I don't. Trying to find the Prismacolor blue. All I got is the Karen Dash. I don't know. She's too rich for my blood to be using that one. Where are my light blue ones? Where are they? They should be in there. And since they're not, I don't know where they are. Okay, so now what? Guess we're gonna stick to this. Is there some other color I can make her? I don't know. Tired of everything being blue. I need something other than blue. But this is what I remember. All the, like all the iconography of, from, stained glass windows and paintings and stuff. I always remember her being in blue and white. Granted, I don't have to color it like that, but I don't know. I can't help it. She looks like a nun. Remember when I was little, I used to ride my bike a lot. I ride all over the place, and one of my favorite places to ride my bike to was the lot of I don't know if it'd be officially be called a nunnery, but I knew the nuns lived there. There were nuns who lived there. It was like a big old, like, I don't know, big old churchy looking kind of house. Had gates and everything. And the gates would be open so you could drive right around in the parking lot and stuff. And it was next to it was where the sisters lived. So maybe it is called a nunnery. I don't know. But I used to love riding my bike to there and riding in that parking lot. I always used to think the building looks like something out of Dark Shadows. Looks like something out of a movie off the TV or something. So I used to love riding my bike to there. Hey, Regina. Happy Saturday. I'm doing good. How about you? I guess I'm going to keep that all white, which I wonder how good this. It's not a Prismacolor, I know that. Not buttery. I probably should just use a Prismacolor and not be silly. Alright? I might have to go to my stash. Where is my stash? My other stash of spares. Spare Prismas that I use often. I gotta find those light blue though pencils. Well, I guess I'm gonna cover the lines a little bit. Finishing this page will put me on target. Oh, I don't know if I want to do that. It's getting a little. I don't know if I like that. I like the. Hmm. Hmm. Well, I guess we're doing it now. Oh, cool. I'll have to check out your short. Sounds like you're getting a lot done. That's good. Yeah, yesterday I did a lot of laundry, which was good. And I did some sorting of clothes and stuff and put some clothes away. I could still gotta officially do my entire change out of from my fall to winter clothes. Put away the ones that I know, I don't start wearing again until it gets to like around March or April, because they're kind of like that in between season kind of clothes. And put my layering and sweater kind of clothes towards the forefront. I'm kind of feeling like I want to rearrange some things, but I don't know if I'm going to have the time to do both. It depends. Might have to save the rearranging for summer. I don't know. See, this is why it takes me too long to color a page. It's like, oh, I gotta do this, gotta do that, gotta do that. Or I just naturally just start going in and doing that. That looks kind of pretty. What's the band? Is the band supposed to be like light blue or something? I'm gonna have to look up why they always have her in like blue. There's gotta be a reason. There it is. Yeah. So you feeling better today? I hope. Trying to give this that linen look. I still keep trying. Wrapped in swaddling clothes. That's good. Good to hear. And hopefully it stays that way longer. Prayers for health and strength and all manner of blessings on ya. In Jesus' name. All manner of blessings on everybody. From now and through all of 2026. Blessings, blessings, blessings. All manner of blessings. We will prosper as our souls prosper. And that will bless everybody around us. I was just thinking today, because I got I got an order from Amazon. No coloring supplies. It was 3 music books, that one on the left hand exercises, and some stuff for my subscribe and save. And I was just thinking today when I looked to check on the order, it's like, man, it's like I wish I had thought of something that I could leave for the Amazon drivers when they deliver, because they're going through just a lot, like Amazon workers in general. And I just and the drivers, like, okay, first of all, like I feel like I really, like, to the point where I kind of want to check the weather when things are and set my order for it to come on the good day, because I don't want to make the driver drive around here on a crappy day. Like, oh, just, I don't want to do that to anybody. I know they get paid, but they work hard. And I don't know that, everywhere they go, that necessarily people are even nice to them. There might be some people that purposely go out of their way to be mean, because, I don't know, people are weird in the world today. So I was thinking, I wish I had thought of something to leave for um, the Amazon drivers, whoever. Like, 'cause it's probably a different one every time. I don't know. To yeah, just something to bless them somehow, and I don't know what that would be. Um, I'm thinking about it because I really would like to do that, because, um, I mean, I'm thankful for them. And then I feel like, I'm using them and abusing them without knowing it. I mean, I am giving them a job, but, like, it's just kind of like, I just want them to know they're appreciated, that I appreciate them. So I got to think of something. And I don't have to just do it for Christmas time. I can do it any old time. So I don't know. I just want them to know somebody's thinking about them, that we recognize what they do. It's not just their paycheck that recognizes what they do. Because I guess I'm very sensitive about that, because I worked in retail for so long, and people are just the worst this time of year. They're awful. And that's one reason why, like, even now, it's my habit at Christmas time. The only thing I want to do is rest. It left that big of an impression on me. Okay, like that combined with now with my job being like, this is one of the busiest times of year, even though it's a different kind of thing. Um, it's like number crunching and all that kind of stuff. But um, yeah, working in retail, by the time it got to Christmas, I was so exhausted and so filled with just just exhaustion from people just being so, ooh, the worst. And that kind of convinced me that Christmas is not really what, what's at the root of this day, because it does not bring out the best in people, which tells me that something about it is not what people say it is. Um, the focus is hard for the focus to stay on it, because it's something else other than what is said that it is. That was always my feeling about it, and now I kind of know that's the case. But yeah, so I like blessing people this time of year. If ever I go in a store this time of year, I'm extra nice to people, extra nice to the cashiers and everybody, because I know that people are just so mean this time of year. It's awful. It's awful. Oh, I didn't know I had this out. I don't want to use it though. Yes, I did play my piano today a couple times. Did my hand exercises a couple times, more than a couple times, but at two separate sittings, and worked on that one. one of the Bach pieces that I was working on before I had to stop playing, because my piano I had at the time was then developed these dead keys. And it's one where you really have to stretch out your hands, your left hand. And I'm getting better at it. So just gonna keep going until I can play everything it and not stop. So I'm approaching it where like I'm actually just playing it now. I was having a problem because your left hand is doing something entirely different from your right hand. Um, and But your left hand is also very active, like it's your right hand or whatever. So I'm playing it very slowly, but trying to play it very slow, but hit like just play it, but slow it way down so that you are having both hands move the way they're supposed to move to where they're supposed to move with the right fingering. Which is a whole lot. But slowing it down helps. I noticed that when I did that, it's like, okay, now I'm used to where my fingers should be. And I could actually like go a little bit faster after that. But I'm trying not to go fast because I want to be able to play the whole thing without a mistake, the whole first part of it without a mistake, playing it slow, really slow. Um, and then I can pick up the speed later after I have the fingering right and everything. Then I can pick up the speed. So that's the approach I'm taking, and it seems to be working. So yeah, yeah, it's crazy how people get this time of year. And thank you. Yeah, I'm just like, that's like anything. It's like the more you practice, the better you get at it. And so that's just what I'm doing. I don't know where it's taking me, but I'm just gonna do it. I love doing it. I just love the feel of piano keys. It's sad. Well, it's not sad. It's actually good they don't make them out of ivory anymore. But I don't know if I ever told that story that the tuner I had before told me that um, at the time when they made ivory like illegal to sell ivory or anything made with it, that there were actually piano sellers who had to tear up um, like Steinways and things like that were in their showroom because they had ivory keys. Any piano that had ivory keys, they had to tear it up. They could not sell it. They couldn't give it away or nothing. They actually had to destroy them. Okay, that brings tears to my eyes. just kind of to think about it. Destroying a piano. It's like, well, it's kind of like, well, the elephant's already gone, from which those or whatever, from which that piano keys were made. So like, why do you have to destroy it? But just the legalities of it, they could not sell it or have it available to anyone to sell. So yeah, see, and that those kind of things kept happening to me, Regina, was that we never had a piano, and but like from the time I was 4 years old, anytime I was near a piano, I would always gravitate to it and start playing it, and people would just look. And they're like, you need to get that girl a piano. But my parents couldn't afford one. Nobody gave us one. And then when I was in sixth grade, I think it was, um they were giving piano lessons at the school, and so I took those for like, I don't know, it was like half a year or something like that. I took lessons there, and like she had to I think I went through like 3 books at least in just those few months. And they sent home a thing like, you need to get this girl a piano. But my parents couldn't afford a piano. So I didn't get a piano. So I couldn't play anymore. So it's like it was always like that. And then the church that I had my mom had started going to, we started going to when I was like 15, 16. Um I would go there like on Saturdays and like, you know, I'd say like whatever you need me to do, I want to do it. And then I asked, is it okay for me to go in the practice room and play the piano? And so they would let me be in there and just play, you know, all afternoon. And then my mother would come and pick me up at some point. Um, and I'd just stay there and play the piano. And then like after it was around that time, I actually joined the first band I was ever in. It was around that time. So it's like it's always been something that like I have not been able to do, even though it seems like it's in my blood to do it. Um, so I think that's why. And then even when I took flute because my parents were able to afford a flute. I took flute lessons. It wasn't a great flute though. I actually got a really good one. Like after I had graduated high school, I continued lessons in flute, and I actually got a really good one. Um, and oh, why did I say that? I can't even remember why. Oh, so I could read treble clef, but I could not read bass clef. And when um, when I moved here, I'd been here for a while. This was like I think it was 2000. Was it 2017? Yeah, something like 2017, somewhere around there. Um, I looked on Facebook Marketplace, and there was somebody who was selling a piano for $200. So we went, we looked at it, and I says, okay, well, it plays, you know. And so I thought, because for all of a sudden I was like, well, you know what? I want a piano. I know you can get like cheap ones anywhere. It doesn't have to be anything great. It just wanted to work. So I got that piano. And then I happened to take a training class at work. And I was in that training class with two, um, with the twins that were actually pianists and were starting up a community piano lessons for all ages. That was really like crazy. That was like the Lord there. Wound up being with them, sitting at the table with them. We got along like we knew each other all our lives. Okay, like to the point where like the instructor had to like tell us to shut up because we were being so goofy and everything together. Then I find out that they're doing this piano lesson thing, community piano lesson things for all ages coming up that coming fall. And so I wound up doing that class. Me and another friend, we did that class together. And yeah, I started going through stuff in that class. And so like I was bringing stuff in and she would say, "Well, I think you might be able to do this." And so she was showing me that and I was learning how to read bass clef, learning how to use, my left hand more and things like that. And then that class ended and I don't know if they went to teach in another state or not. I got to find out where they are. Um and so I had that piano for 200, that was the $200 piano for a while and was, playing it and I was, getting better and learning things and whatever. And then the keys died on it. Certain keys died on it that made it impossible to play anything because of where they were. They're kind of like in the middle. The dead keys were like in the middle. One was in the middle, one was at the high end. Um the lower high end, so it was impossible to play certain classical music without bumping into that key. So it was awful. So I stopped playing. Um, so suddenly for the whole thing with the piano to come up, just since like from October, November was bizarre for me. I was like, what? Um, yeah, it just was time. It was time. So now I am almost at the place where I was when I had to stop in like 2017ish or whatever that was. I don't remember the exact date. I got to figure that out, but I'm almost there now. Almost there with this last thing that I'm learning. Um I actually still there's still the markings on the page from when the twins, that's what I call them, the twins, the two piano instructors, when they were one of them was showing me like the fingering for it and saying, well, you can use this instead of this and whatever. The markings are on that page from when she was helping me out with that, helping me learn that. So yeah, so I'm almost there to where I left off, but it's kind of, I don't know. Yeah, things happen for a reason, and I'm just gonna do what I need to do, how I need to do it. So it isn't too late. It's not too late. And actually, the book that they used, I can share with you the book that we used. And the book comes with a recording too. So like, if you wanted to do it on your own, you could. Um, yeah, it was really good. It was a really good book. It was an adult piano um beginner book. Really good. And my friend who she didn't play at all, and she did really well with that book too. So yeah, it was really good. I think it's an Alfred Music book. I'll have to look that up and share that. And then I'll tag you on it. But the thing is, people are getting rid of pianos all the time. That's the thing. They're getting, because things happen. Whether it's somebody, the person who played passed away, and people are just using it as a piece of furniture in their house, or um, they're moving. They can't have it anymore, or whatever. Think all kinds of things like that. People are getting rid of pianos all the time. So, which is why I didn't expect to actually be getting what I got. Oh well, there's a lot of pianists who can't sing. Burt Bacharach couldn't sing. Remember him? Do you remember Burt Bacharach? Oh my God, it's like, please don't sing. I used to, when I was a little kid, and he'd be on like, what is it? What is it? The Mike Griffin show, or what? Not Merv Griffin. Merv Griffin's one, but who's the other one? Mike Douglas. It was like, oh Lord, please don't sing. Burt Bacharach, please don't sing. Don't sing. He can play and write songs wonderfully, but he can't sing. Cannot sing. Okay, so what background am I giving her? I want purple. Oh, I want purple. It's crazy how bad his singing voice was. Oof. Somebody else too who can't sing. Well, I think there's a lot of jazz pianists who can't sing for sure. They can play, but they can't sing. They get somebody else to do that part. And a lot of the thing with notes is it's just relative, you know. It's actually, in a lot of ways, it's like it's math, but I can't think of it that way because I suck at math. But it's all relative to middle C. And you base everything it just in that way. Um, Kind of helps too, or just sticking to the notes, you know. What my husband doing? He's doing something with the wall. I really should have eaten something for dinner. You know what I did? My husband bought some eggnog because he knows I like eggnog, and I know, like, American eggnog is weird in the store, but I love it. A glass of eggnog with a lot of cinnamon I put on top in it. That does not constitute dinner. And I had a bagel for breakfast. Okay, that's all I've had all day. That's not good. Not good. See, my sleep's jacked up and my eating's jacked up. I gotta make sure I don't do that. I gotta do better tomorrow. I think it's just because I'm coming down from work, and then trying to catch up on housework. So the combination has me kind of 4 minutes. Oh man, we almost made it. I'm playing this game. I have this game open while I'm on here. So it must be, what time is it? Okay, 8:11. Maybe we should make this page more muted tones instead of bright. Nothing wrong with that. I think another thing about like learning to play an instrument now, I think especially if you're older, I think it's one good way to like keep your brain active. And then doing something like learning a language or learning an instrument, it kind of yeah, I feel like it keeps the juices flowing in a useful way. Or even things like, knitting, things that are kind of complex, like cable knit sweaters or things like that, or things that are in a particular pattern that you have to, concentrate and think about. I think things like that help keep your brain juices flowing and deepen those crevices in your brain. And I haven't been studying my French. I need to do that. I've been bad. I have to do that. I actually teach at a college. I teach literature and writing. And I fell into that. That was like never my plan. That just I fell into it after I got my master's late in life. They said, "Well, we want to keep you around." I'm like, "You do? Okay. Well, I like this place, so I'll stick around." So they asked me to teach a couple classes, and I've been doing it ever since. And then they increased my number of classes. And then they increased it again, and I was like, But I did it to help out. But I don't really want to be full time. Full time is hard. Full time means I can't do any writing for myself or anything. Which was actually the thing that started me going back to school was um, I started getting into French poets, writing poetry, um, and thinking about the relationship between, like, they're different, poetry and lyric writing, but like it was a decision I was making, like, okay, Lord, either I move to Nashville and try to break into, songwriting down there, or go back to school and get, major in literature and learn more about writing. And so I did the latter. Because the other one, it just didn't seem like that was what I was supposed to do, so I didn't do it. Yeah, I was working like 40 hours, more than 40 hours actually, when it came down to it, at a bank, and going to school part time. And then I met my husband. I started going to school full time, finished up my undergrad, and then I worked for a year, and then in a non-school thing, and then I wound up going back for my master's because I thought, no, I don't want to do. It was at a credit union. It's like, I don't want to do. I'm not a banker anymore. I don't want to do that. And so I went and got my master's, and I was deciding between an MFA or an MA, and I just went for the MA. I just didn't feel like an MFA was gonna. I don't know. It's almost like going to school for music. To go to school for actual writing, that just felt weird to me. I thought about it, but it just wasn't. I kind of wouldn't mind going for my PhD, actually. I kind of have been thinking about it. Kind of one reason I think why I'm a little more focused on learning a language now, but that's not the primary reason. I've always wanted to learn French. Always. That was one of the reasons, again, why I decided to go to college, because I was reading a lot of French poets. I was reading their translations in English, and they had the French on the other side. And I was like, I really would like to read this in the original language and know what it means. And I'd like to write in that language too. Okay, we're not there yet at all. By the way, let me just let you know that. But I haven't given up. I haven't given up on it. It's just in a real slow, like, uh, I'm not dedicated enough to it, I think. I need to be more dedicated to it. Oh, let me move this page because that thing's over now. Let's see. Ooh, excuse me. What I'm gonna wind up doing for dinner is drinking more eggnog. Well, it's got eggs in it. That's worth something, right? Oh, let's give him the same. Let's give him the High Pro Glow. Remember that commercial, like the dog food commercial? Yeah, the dog running, and he's got the High Pro Glow. Okay, I'm not equating Mary and Jesus to a dog. But just I don't even know when Hanukkah started. You should keep track of them kind of things, and I don't know when. I have a coloring page of dreidels. I always remember that dreidel song from elementary school. I wonder if I should use metallic. What other color? I'm afraid to put another color in here. Because you add that next color and then it's like it turns it. It's like, uh-oh. We didn't want to go there. I don't know. What do they have in the Xena colors? I don't know. Got other purples. Got other blues. It's like it's so calm and peaceful with these colors. I don't want to ruin it. Oh well. Like they say, ain't nothing to it but to do it. Worst case scenario, color over it with another color. Right? Or use an acrylic marker. They cover up everything. It's kind of interesting to watch what some of your students go on to do. It's like now I've been doing this long enough to see that, like see them be grown ups and um well, full grown ups, not young adults, but like, oh, I don't know when that cutoff is, but now that I think about it, I don't know when that cutoff is. Maybe they are still young adults. I don't know. But yeah, it's amazing to see what some of them go on and do. Um Kind of impressive. It's like, wow. It's like, oh, I hope I was a positive part of that. Yeah, I don't really like that blue, but you know what? We can go over it with another color. I'm not really liking that. I'm gonna do something with it, I guess. See, I always need distance between my pages to be able to like just kind of reflect on it, like to get fresh eyes and then come back. It helps me see the page better. I don't know. Yeah, I don't like that at all. I don't know what else to do with it. But I do have the discipline of coloring one of these almost every day. And going through them in order. So at least we got that. I feel like I want to read some more of that article. I was reading an article by this guy who's I can't say his first name. I don't know. I guess he's Bulgarian. Last name is Todorov, and grew up, in the Soviet area. Er, er, is that the Soviet era? As a literary, in literary studies, and then he moved to France to study, and wound up staying there. And he was talking about the differences between studying literature in a totalitarian society versus in France, um, and it's interesting. And it's an article from, like, I don't know, years ago. It's not recent. It's interesting. And then I'm finding out some people who were, it's like, oh, I didn't know he knew that person. I didn't know he knew that person. So I'm finding out a lot of stuff, like connections, how these people actually are connected. Some of these philosophers, thinker people. And yeah, I wound up buying 2 more books as a result. Dun, dun, dun. So I need some time to read and write for myself. I got a lot of stuff in my head I need to get out. Okay, that's kind of cool. That looks a little stained glassish. I can't even say the word. Stained glassish. A little Prisma pencil that could. That's what these white pencils are for me. Holding on to the bitter end. I might need to check my sauce and stir it. I don't know. Should I just do more blue or more blue and purple? Thank you. Yeah, I do. In part, it's almost like I have to, but I don't really have to. I'm just curious. Endlessly asking why, always curious. I do read a lot of nonfiction books. I like to read a lot of fiction books. And mostly I read short stories because I have a short attention span, and also because they're easier to teach what I need to teach. Um, but I do like novels. I don't seem to have a lot of time to read them because I'm always reading nonfiction books all the time. Um, but I actually have one novel. It's like that thing is huge. It's like this thick, and I kind of wish I could teach it for a class, but I don't know how I could teach it because it's so big. Hey, Jill. It's called JR, and that's a book I really want to read, and I'm thinking about like reading it this year, somehow, some way, and then also figuring out how to teach at least a portion of it because, yeah, I used to read a lot of novels, but the more that I started working, the less time I had to do it. So, hope you're having a good day, Jill. I'm just rambling and coloring. Rambling and coloring. Running my mouth. Did I use the lighter purple on that? I think I did. I used the lighter purple first. Let's do that for these two. We'll keep it consistent. I'm just so thankful to be off from work that I don't know what to do. Or not, I don't know what to do. I'm just like really just kind of collapsing into it. I just fallen into it, collapsing into it. It's like, yes. I'm not doing anything I don't want to do. Nothing I don't want to do. Nothing I don't want to do. My thing is I wish I could, I don't know, I wish I could read like I could when I was little. I would read like 3 books at a time, and my mother didn't believe that I knew what was going on in any of them, so she'd kind of quiz me, and I'd tell her. I was like, "Oh, okay, I guess you're really reading them." But I don't. I want to be able to read like that now. I seem to be like so much more deliberate or something and slow about reading, and I could really use being able to read like I read when I was a kid now. Do you want packing? Uh, Editing and packing in between. Wow. That's some serious multitasking. Wow. Well, the weather didn't get too crazy, at least up here, even though like it didn't turn out to be, I don't know, even though it did what they said it was going to do, it doesn't seem like it affected anything up here too much. So hopefully that's the same downstate. I'm pretty sure it was because it's warmer down there than it is up here. So the travel should be good. I have to check the weather. I can't believe it was like 50 degrees and then goes all the way down to like this weather is really strange this season. Very strange. All of a sudden now I hear the wind kicking up. Like I said, what you say? It wasn't as bad. Wait a minute, wait a minute. Let's fix that. Gonna start acting up now. Ooh, 80 degrees. Ooh, wow. Let's see, what's the temperature today? I need to see Lori. Lori, coloring with Lori. Like I always know, whatever she gets, we're gonna get it in a few days. She's my warning, my weather warning. Well, and I hope that you get it done productively and Jill and with ease. Wishing you ease with that. Instead of saying a bit of snow, it's 37 degrees, but the real feel is 30. Tomorrow, very windy, low clouds and some snow, accumulating an inch or two. An inch or two is nothing. Huh. So what do the lynx do when it snows? Them, oh, them scary cats. Look at y'all, I'm telling you. I hope they stay. They need to stay up north. I don't want to see one. I don't ever want to see one of them things. Not ever. They are like too wild. And their paws are too big. They'll knock you out. They're just scary looking to me. Yeah, it's cold. It was colder. I'm surprised it's actually that warm. Oh, it's pretty average for. Okay, I don't want to put that on. Am I going to use purple? Dark purple or trying to stay with the mood? The mood. I think after I finish this one, that'll be it for today. Maybe come live tomorrow. See what some other coloring folks are doing. If they're going to do kind of panel coloring or what. Do I need something on her glow? Like white or something? I don't think that's gonna. Is it? Just that kind of. I do kind of like this idea of this advent coloring a page a day. Oh, wait a minute. Today's the 20th? Is tomorrow then the first official day of winter, which winter solstice, which like actually makes more sense to me than Christmas? I gotta be honest. I could say that as a Christian, but I gotta be honest because of the political background of basically of Christmas, its foundation. But winter solstice has kind of made more sense to me because it's the shortest day of the year. Um, some ways they call it the longest night of the year, and then after that the days get longer. And I feel like that's something really to celebrate because we don't like these long dark days. Um, and that's actually when we would start. Um, when I was doing the winter sewing, this winter solstice was the official day we would start. And we actually like online, we would have a party basically online, which basically consisted of, um, everybody was filling their containers with their seeds, their dirt and their seeds and stuff, and putting them outside, keeping track of how many jugs we put out. And we all had like our individual charts and things like that of like, what we put out, what the seed was, what day we sowed it, and all the other kind of stuff. So we would start all of that, and then we would meet online on Garden Web in the community on there, in the forum, and there would be somebody who would actually be keeping track of the jugs that every um, growing zone was sowing. We'd keep reporting how many we sowed. Okay, I just did 10 jugs just now, and then the other person would say, okay, I just did 15 jugs or whatever. So somebody would be keeping track of that. And we had like this kind of little contest with it. Then people would, I don't know, because we did everything via forum. Then there was no live kind of thing, like going on camera and things like that. So everybody would have their own individual thing with snacks and wine and whatever. I can't mix food in winter sowing though. It's like food and dirt. No, I can't do it. But some people would have a glass of wine on the side while they were like doing all their sewing stuff. It was a lot of fun. So it was one way to look forward to the longest night of the year was by doing that. And there's something about sowing those seeds on the longest night of the year. Those seeds are going to produce something in the spring. So it really added some excitement. It was really exciting. It really was. And then in the springtime, when you actually start seeing those seeds sprout, it was almost like I don't know, it's like the reminder of like even like that parable about the seed, about the mustard seed and stuff. To see something grow so huge that actually either feeds you and other people as well, or makes your yard beautiful. Because like I had one time, my sister-in-law was babysitting this little toddler, this little kid, and he made her leave their house and come next door to ours because he saw the garden and all the flowers in it, and he was like, it looks like a fairy garden. And I was just like, so, like, it almost brought tears to my eyes. I felt so blessed. It's like, that's why I do it, you know. To like the look in his eyes, he felt it was like, I was like, oh, where's, and so just to see that look in his eye just made it even more worth doing it. If I'd only done it for that, it would have been totally worth it. That was just like so precious. Just to see his face looking at all the flowers. It's like a fairy garden. Yeah, I don't garden like that now because I've been working too much. But and we've had some issues in our yard since my husband had the garage built. It's changed the way water and stuff goes in the yard. So it's like, yeah, between that and what happened with the pandemic, changing how work gets done, and scrambling trying to figure out how to get things done. Yeah, it hasn't been any gardening for like wow, for a while, 7 years I think. I was thinking about starting again. I was actually thinking about winter sowing this year. Um, I don't know if I'm going to do that though, but I almost feel like because tomorrow is the 21st, maybe even just do one jug of something. I don't know. I don't know if I have the energy for that though, because I didn't prepare for it. It's really easy to do though, because all you do is you take, like, I would use like milk jugs and juice jugs. You just put holes in the bottom. I started using a soldering iron to do that, but you can just put slits in it with like a X-Acto knife or something like that. With some milk jugs, you can actually use scissors to do that so that you have drainage. You cut the jug so that it opens up just like Elmo's mouth, Elmo the Muppet. And you put dirt in the container, and then, you flip the Elmo mouth open, you put the dirt in the container, you put your seeds on top, you wet the soil, and you put it outside. That's it. That's all. Springtime, whenever it gets warm enough for the seed to get prompted to sprout, it sprouts. And then you have way more plants than you would ever, you know get going to a garden nursery or whatever. And um, what you actually do when you plant them, what I would do and what a lot of people did, you don't even like you don't go through and separate those seedlings or anything like that. I would take the whole thing, I'd flip the jug upside down so that all of the things fell into my hand. It fell into my hand upside down. Then I'd plop it onto the soil. Maybe water it a little bit so that it'll sink in, and left it alone. We called that plunk and run. That was our name for it. Plunk and run. I would do that. That's it. And then the strongest would survive. In some ways, like it seemed like a whole lot of them would survive out of it, which was nice because it made a really full garden. But yeah, and that's how I planted my garden. That was how I did it. And seed packets were cheap, way cheaper than buying one plant from a store, and I would have tons of plants from them, from one packet of seeds. Um, but then seeds became a whole nother obsession, kind of like coloring books. So that I still have seeds left over from that. And I have gone through my stash that I had of that and just kind of disperse them in the yard just so that whatever would catch would, and if it didn't, it didn't. It's like whatever, they're old seeds anyway. I did have poppies that came up this year, the veteran poppies that came up from some things that I did like that. But also, my husband went and dug in that bed after I had dispersed seeds, so I think that's why a lot more didn't do anything. But I never did good with direct sowing because of all the critters we have out here. Like direct sowing things just didn't work. It's like I can't plant bulbs because the squirrels and the squirrels dig them up and take them away. Um, and things like voles, VOLES, which like I didn't even know what that was until I moved out here. They would take plants and things and like suck them under and things like that. So I couldn't direct sow. Birds would eat the seeds. That just never, direct sowing never worked for me. So, but doing the winter sowing helped a lot with that. The only thing I had to worry about voles sucking under were basil, and so I would always wait until the basil got a certain height before I would actually put it in the garden bed. Um, but I got like that's how I got my oregano that way, thyme. This one plant, lovage, I still have that grows like it grows like over 10 feet tall in my yard now. I got that from winter sowing, and I love that plant. I don't know why it isn't more popular. It tastes like peppered celery. Um, and yeah, I learned a lot. I learned a lot of Latin names for plants that something I never would have learned. I learned a lot of Latin from it. Um, I learned so much from doing that. A lot. Um, I do miss my flowers too. I really miss my flowers. It was so nice to just go and like cut flowers and put them in a vase or cut flowers and give them to somebody. Um, I miss that a lot. I love flowers. I always have. I also miss seeing like the bees and the butterflies hanging out on them and things like that. But there's a season for everything, so I don't know when that season's coming back. If it does, I'll be happy. If it doesn't, okay, well, it's just not time. So, if you're curious about it, all you have to do, actually, the person to look up because she's still doing it is Trudy. I love this woman, and bless her. Her ears probably ring every time I say her name. Just typing that in. Look her up. And she actually gives, she might still give packs of free seeds, and she's really into seed saving as well. Seed saving and heirloom seeds. And she used to give away like because I think she has it registered like as a nonprofit now. So she actually gives away packs of heirloom seeds. She used to of tomatoes and things like that. Like things, non-GMO things before it was even talked about as non-GMO. Um, so yeah. So if anybody is interested in the whole winter sewing thing, I'm telling you, it works and it makes you. I had literally black thumbs. I killed everything until I started doing that. And you can't kill. It's really hard to kill winter sown plants because they're just out there in the weather anyway. They just have the cover of that kind of mini greenhouse thing. They sprout when they're ready and they're already hardened off, because that's most of the time when I killed plants was when I tried to harden them off. I didn't harden them off. I killed them. Um, you don't have to worry about doing that. You can just put them directly into your garden and they grow. That's it. And my zinnias would still be going strong like in November up here in November. It was like only when we had a really hard frost that they finally would be like, okay, that's it. We can't do that. So anyway, so look her up if you're interested. If you normally killed everything you touch as a plant, look up winter sowing. You will be surprised. And I also say the first two things, especially if you're in zone 5, two things to make sure that you winter sow are bachelor buttons and lettuce, because they are the two things that give you that early. They do that early sprouting. They give you encouragement, and you're like, "Oh my gosh, this works!" And you get so excited. You get beside yourself with excitement when you see that green in the jug. Um, Lettuce is a cold weather. It likes cooler weather, so it's one of the first things to sprout. So anyway, blah 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 blah. I talked about everything under the sun, and I've been on here for 3 hours. Oh my gosh, that's a long time. So I gotta go. I gotta go do some other things. I gotta go run around the house a little bit. Thank you all for joining me. And have a good trip, Jill. Anybody who's traveling, be safe, have fun, all that jazz. And y'all have a good night. I'll probably be back on here. I'm pretty sure I'll be back on here before Christmas. So